Hello everyone, I'm going to have a play at different types of palettes that I might want to use. So this is something that the idea came from a course that I've been doing, and let me find Anna Victoria Calderon is her name, on Domestica, and it is about colour palettes, and I really liked this idea, so I will put a link to her Domestica course as well below. I'm using Pinterest to put together some ideas for each of the different colour palettes. So this one is a warm colour palette, and obviously you can add more. I'll also put a link actually to my Pinterest, and you'll be able to see these. They're not, I haven't made them a secret board. They are available for anyone to look at. Then I've got some cold colours here, and then I've got some neutral colours. So just a few on each page. Let's have a little play. I've divided my, this is A4, I've divided my A4 piece of paper into 3 and labelled it up warm, cold and neutral. What I'm using is a Bockingford fat pad. Let me just double check. It's A4 300 GSM. So acid-free archival. There we go. That's what I am using. I'm going to be using my main watercolour palette, which is this one, which, apart from one colour, is all Michael Harding. The only one that isn't is the Holbein Bright Rose up here. So I thought it was best really to stick to my main palette so that I get a better understanding of the colours in here. It's not something that I've really thought about a great deal. I tend to just pick colours that I like that go together well. So this could be something that you want to try as well. I'm just finding my brush. Let's find a brush here. We'll go with the size 8 Escoda Perla. So I've got my little brush ready. So using Pinterest as my inspiration, when we think of the, that's my colour wheel gone, there we go. When we think of the colour wheel, then if you think, in my mind anyway, anything from yellow orange going around here to the red violet, I think of those as the warm colours, and then the cold colours are your kind of yellow green, and they class yellow as a warm colour, but I think it depends on the yellow. If it was a lemon yellow, then I would put it in cool, but if it's a warmer, maybe like a cadmium yellow, yeah, mid cadmium yellow rather than a light cadmium yellow, then it could go on the warm side. But if we say that yellow can go either way, the cool side is from the yellow green going round into the blues and the blue violets, and then violet, much like yellow, they're opposite each other on the colour wheel. They're kind of the neutrals, they can go either way. So I think that's a good way of understanding which are our warm colours and which are our cool colours. So in general, cool colours will have oranges and reds and red tones to them, and our cool colours are going to have blue undertones to them. Right, that being said, here are my pins for Pinterest. There are more than these few. It's just when I did the print off of the computer, it just wouldn't do it. So there's probably a better way of doing it. Some of you might know how to do that, but these will be enough for me to pick out some warm colours from my palette. So I really need a kind of warmer yellow, and I would say, in my mind, yellow ochre is that kind of warm yellow. So I'm going to do circles, and I'm going to do some that are more watered down. So one that's not full strength, should we call it full strength? So let's see what else I have on here. I think this red ochre of France, that will definitely be a warm colour. So we'll add you in here, and it doesn't matter if they overlap. And we'll have that like that, and then we'll do a more watered down version over here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So let's try and pick another warm colour. I think our Quin Coral is a nice warm red because it's got a tinge of orange to it. So let's put our Quinacridone Coral in, and a lighter one. What other colours? We need some browns. So let's see, burnt sienna is definitely going to be a nice warm colour. So let's put you here. And we'll have one that's a bit more watered down up here. Earth of Cyprus is a nice warm brown, a reddy brown. So we can add you in. Let's pop you over here. And we'll go for a lighter one up there. And you can see my warm palette starting to develop. Now, when it comes to our greens, we need them to be more kind of olivey green. So we've got olive green. Let's try you, because there are some greens in here. Yeah, that's fine. And we'll pop some up there, overlapping a bit. Now, what else can we add in there? Oh, rose madder. Let's take some of you. Need to activate that one a bit more. There we go. So let's try some of our, yes, that's definitely a warm colour. A bit up here as well. Okay. New Gamboge looks quite nice and warm. Doesn't look like it's a cool yellow. So we'll add some new gamboge in here. Like so. Now, ultramarine is actually quite a warm blue. I haven't really got any blues on there, but I think, or it's neutral if nothing else. So we will add this little bit of blue in there. What else have we got here? Perennial green is quite a cold colour. They're pretty cold. Buff titanium can go in neutral or in, it's not a cold colour as such, so we could add some buff titanium in here. Mingle and mix in. I feel like I need more green. I think maybe I will mix the olive green. Mixing tray. Here we go, one with a space. I'm going to take the olive green and I'm going to add, what should we add to it? Maybe we'll add some yellow ochre to it and get ourselves, there we go, a bit more of a warmer green going on. And then maybe we'll just add a bit more of that green to the yellow ochre to get a slightly different green. More, rather than half and half, it's got a bit more of the olive green in it. Okay, so there we go. We have our warm palette. Now let's have a look at the cold colours. So these are going to have blue undertones basically. So this Holbein Bright Rose has definitely got a blue undertone. So let's pop you in. And we'll have a more watered down one. Indigo blue is definitely a cold blue. So let's pop you in. I don't really have a cold yellow. Well, Turner's yellow, I suppose, is quite... Let's pop you in there. That's the closest that I've got. And just, yeah, it definitely looks cold compared to... Let that mingle a bit. So we've got a yellow in there. Now then, what else can we pop in there? Well, I think lavender is quite a cold colour. Let's pop some lavender in. And this vivid blue looks quite cold. Doesn't have any red in it anywhere. Where can you go? There. I'll let you mix. Right, Peroline Green is our cold green, really, with its blue undertone. I'll pop that in there. What else have we got in here? Yeah, Blue Verdita. That's quite a cold colour. Blue Verdita. Let's pop you in. We'll pop you down there. Just have you overlapping a bit. And then we'll put one up there. That's our lighter version. Let me see, what else have we got on here? We need some browns, don't we? Sepia. Let's get, oops, wrong one. Let's get some sepia out. And we can pop you in there, to down a bit. Like so. The Cosmic Blue is definitely cold. So where should we put you? In there. That's our Cosmic Blue. What else? If we add, let's take the neutral tint. And add some white, warm white. No, that's warm white. Let's add some white to it. There we go. That's a nice cool grey. Now then, we need a cool kind of reddy or orangey colour, and Scarlet Lake. Let me try you out on a separate piece of, well, let's just try you out on here. Where does Scarlet, no, Scarlet Lake I think fits with the warm, so we will not put you there, but we can add you in here. Okay, so I need a cool kind of red. Let's see if we, what happens if we mix our Scarlet Lake with some of the Bright Rose. That's better. Now we get a cool red, which was what I was hoping for. Isn't it lovely when things turn out? There we go. Are we missing anything? An orangey, cool orange. I wonder if, let's take our, I need a space on here. Let's just clean one. Oh, I haven't got that many greens either. Let's clean a couple of these out as best we can. That will do. So let's take our quinacridone bronze and add a little bit of the sepia to it. No, too much sepia. No, I think that's going into a warm tone. That's not working. So raw umber, there we go. That gives us another brown. Getting my head in the shot again. There we go. Raw umber mixing in there. So there we have our much colder palette. Now, do I need one more green in there? Let's take our, oh actually we've got moss green, and that's a cooler green. We'll pop you in a few places to kind of, there we are. Lovely. Right, now let's go for our neutrals then. So if I pull up the neutral palette, we've got browns and creams and muddy greens. And we've even got our almost like a cobalt teal here in this one. I guess there's probably no exact rights or wrongs, but I'm gonna say buff titanium. Although we put it in the warm one, I think buff titanium goes across the palettes, to be honest. I'm going to add it in the cold one as well. But where am I? Here. So let's go with buff titanium as the start of our neutral palette. And then I think if we take our permanent green, and we add some buff titanium to it, is that more of a cold green? Perhaps that needs to go over here. Running out of space. Yeah, that's cold. But I guess it is. There's going to be some crossovers, I think, you know. It's a really interesting exercise. Perhaps when you watch me doing this, you're yelling and saying, "No, Michelle, that one goes in the warms. No, that goes in the neutrals." Yeah, I think that's fairly neutral. Our sepia, I think, can go in here. And let me see. What else do we have that can go in here? Well, I'm wondering whether this looks fairly neutral. This is ochre de lemon. Is lemon anyway, and that's quite a neutral colour. Right, what else do we need? We need something darker, don't we? Well, could we? I know it's neutral tint, so it's not cold and it's not warm, but I think it fits in here nicely because of that. Not cold, not warm, neutral tint. Helps to give us a darker colour in there. Right, what else can we find on my palette that is going to be a neutral? Wonder, they've got this tealy colour going on in here. Let's see what my teal looks like on this palette. Okay. I think that teal colour, because it's a bluey, it could also go in with the cold, possibly. Anyways, let's keep going. What else have we got up here? Oh, I've just noticed something else that needs to go on this one. Bright green lake definitely fits on this cool palette. Now, where does my quinacridone bronze fit in then? Does it go with this palette? Do you know? I think it might. Let's put you on this palette. Right, we put that one somewhere else, and that one, and that one, and that one. We've done, oh, lapis lazuli. Probably goes more on the cold palette, but we'll leave that for now. Let's cobalt blue deep. Now, where does cobalt blue fit in? Green undertone, bluey green, cold, maybe? If we think of, are you going to go on our cold? Yeah, I think you do. Yes. It goes on the cold one. Right, we need more on this neutral one. So I'm going to mix a bit of the Earth of Cyprus with a bit of buff titanium, so as we can get this more mid-tone brown. And then if we take, what if we take, now our belladonna, which is our purple, bearing in mind that purple can go both ways, I think purple could go in with our warms, but it's also not too bad in with our colds. And if we mix it, I need a space to mix it on, so let's just wipe you out a minute. If we mix it with the buff titanium, then do we get our neutral kind of colour more? A bit more. Yeah, there we go. Then we get this kind of neutral, pale, pinky kind of colour. There. Okay. Well, I think I've included more or less all the colours on my palette. And I've now got paint on these, but that's fine. What do you think? Let me bring these up a bit closer. We have our warm, we have our cold, and we have our neutral. Do you have a preference? I know which one I'm drawn towards. It's the neutral. Sometimes I do quite like the warm, and sometimes I like the cold, but the one that I'm most drawn towards is the neutral. I think I could almost add lilac into that neutral as well. Let's be brave and just throw it in there. Lavender, I mean. Yeah, I think we can add our lavender into the neutral, even though I put it in the cold as well. So I think some colours will overlap a little bit. I don't know. Will you have a play with the colours in your palette to see which ones you you like, what you're drawn towards? I also started, where is my, there it is. Started doing these little, I will put these in my big container, so you can see the kind of palettes that I'm drawn towards. That is definitely neutral. Then we have this one. Where does this one fit? Yet again, I think it fits with the neutral. Where does this one fit? Maybe does that go with the cold? I would still put it with the neutral. And this one, still the neutrals, really. Isn't that interesting? I was just making these little cards for me to use for inspiration, and I just write on the back of them the colours that I've used. But it seems to me that I have learnt something about myself, in that this neutral palette is the one that I am more drawn towards. There we go. If you have a go, let me know. Let me know, what were you drawn towards, the warm, the cold, or the neutral? Anyway, there we are. Another little idea to try out. So, as usual, I'm going to stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay calm. And hopefully you'll join me again next time. But for now, I'm just going to say thank you so much for watching.